Okay, the next personality we're going to talk about is called the friend. These people favor careers helping people. They ministry, counseling, teaching, medical field, nursing. They like comfortable clothes typically. They're friendly, easygoing. Homes tend to be a little disheveled. They prefer comfort, and they like a lot of family photos, usually have pets, and sorry about that. They're warm, friendly people. They're people you like to be around. They are, however, slow decision makers. They're security conscious. They're stable, steady Eddie kind of people. They're great to have as part of your team, and that's how they think. They think like team members. They think in terms of being part of a pack. They're loyal and empathetic, compassionate people, and will typically, if they're going to sell their house or buy a house or whatever, to get started, they'll start by asking for a referral from a friend. They're going to check with their friends. Who did you like? And that's going to be very important. They're not going to ask who did a really great job for you. They want to know who you liked, because that's how they think. They want to be buddies. If they don't have a good, warm feeling about you, they're not going to do business with you. It doesn't matter how competent you are, how many awards you've won, how many designations you have. If they don't feel comfortable with you, they're not going to do business. You have to be their friend.
Take your time and rapport with them. Relax. Ask a lot of questions about family. Bring up anybody that you might have in common. Present the company not as this giant organization, powerful, does all this cool stuff, but as a community of people who believe in the same values and function as really a community of friends. You just have to take your time with these people and go ahead.
Yeah.
And cut the charts and graphs down to a minimum. Okay.
I was going to say that
I saw Amy reaching for that folder.
The thinker is going to take your materials and look through them and find any typos that are there, and just like Dennis described, analyze them. The friend is going to take the folder, intending to look at everything in it, put it aside, and have a conversation with you to figure out how they feel about you.
Yeah.
So don't be offended if they aren't, looking at everything. They mean well. They want to. They know they should, but they'll get to it later, maybe. You just have to make them feel comfortable, and so this is the one personality type you want to spend a lot of time in rapport with. Ask a lot of open-ended questions, get to know them, and that will build trust with them, and that's very important to them.
Family, talk about family, talk about their lives. They'll talk to you about people rather than programs or services and that sort of thing. They see the world as much more organic than a thinker does. Right. And they're just friendly people. Yeah. And most of them are really, really nice, okay?
They're emotional decision makers, so that feeling is very important to them. The data, less so. So, just make sure that you're connecting with them. Dennis, tell him that story about the first time. So we were exposed to this material years ago, and he went on his first appointment where he got a chance to use it.
I'll never forget it. I will never forget. I was a Saturday morning, and I was sitting there with this woman, and I was doing my favorite charts and graphs and my little dog and pony show, my little listing presentation. And the whole time, she starts off like this, looking at me across the table, and then she starts to go like this, and pretty soon her face is getting more and more distorted, and she looks like she's falling asleep, and she's sliding forward to me like this, and finally she goes, "Do you have any kids?" And I went, "Friend." And I said, I've got 3, and I got a couple of grandchildren, which is I like to see pictures. We did Kids and the Dogs and Yankees for like an hour and an hour and a half, and I walked out of there with that listing. But I remember immediately putting away my charts and graphs and going into a whole nother mode. And it was, the information was so helpful to me. It was unbelievable because I was able to become the person, I needed to relate to her on a basis that she was comfortable with. I mean, I had my own comfort level. I'm more comfortable with the charts and graphs, and I wanted to be this professional. She just wanted a friend. An hour and that she could trust and liked and wanted to get her home sold. So I adjusted my presentation to reflect that, and she followed me out to my car with a plate of brownies for the kids. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. So this stuff, and I could tell you a lot more stories like that about how transformational this material is. If I had stuck to my guns and done a thinker presentation or another personality type we're going to show you, we would not have connected. She may have done business with me, but I'm pretty much convinced that she wouldn't have. She would have said, well, yeah, thank you, and if I need you, I'll call you. And I think she would have told her friends, that Dennis, he's really a really professional realtor, but I just wasn't really that comfortable with him. So this stuff can matter a great deal. So please hear us on this one. This one is powerful stuff.